And I was like in my head just waiting until it got evening again, like every single day. I would just sit on my bed and wait until it got dark again. And then at that day particular, I went to the mirror, I looked at myself and I was like, Liz, you're pathetic. You are so pathetic. Look at yourself. These are your youngest years. Every second you're getting older, and you have wasted the last 2 years in your room doing nothing. So then from that day on, I remember I made a plan. I was like, okay, we have to think, what would the better version of me do? So then I started like, okay, the better version of me would start maybe getting out of her room, going outside, maybe get some fresh air. So I started doing that. I started going for walks every single day. I would make sure I would get my 10,000 steps in. I started eating healthier. I started like making myself oatmeal. I enjoyed doing that. Then I started listening to like podcasts, motivational things. I used to listen to this before, but now I started hearing them. I started really like listening. And the most important thing I have ever done in my life is believe in the law of assumption and believe in God. Because I started to communicate with God. I used to pray like I'm Muslim, so I would pray 5 times a day and stuff. But I would pray just to pray and that's it, and then go to sleep and cry. But then I started praying, like talking. So every single time when I did my prayer, I would sit, and not every single time, because that's also like pushing it and that's too much. But like sometimes when I was really feeling down, I was like, look, I talked to God like he was my best friend. I was like, look, I don't feel good, and this is what I'm feeling right now, and I don't know why, and I know you're the only one that can help me, and you know what, I give it to you. You know what's best for me, then show me the way. I asked him, show me the way. How do I do it? So when I started talking to him like that, I swear, every single thing I wanted to manifest started manifesting into my life. Because I started talking to God. See, you guys are expecting things to come into your life, but did you ask God? Did you ask the universe? Did you ask? If you don't believe in anything, just ask. You cannot expect help if you don't ask for help. And you cannot expect good things to come if you don't even can accept help from people. Sometimes God puts people into our life to help us, to upgrade us. And if you're constantly dismissing people and being like, no, I got it on my own, how will you ever get there? And then you keep asking like, God, why don't you help me? God says, I send you this person, but you dismissed them or dismissed her completely. Let go of trying to control everything. Like I was always trying to control every single thing in my life. I needed control. I was so afraid of not having control in my life. And this comes from early childhood trauma. Because like when I was in my younger years, I never had control. There was a parent that always had control over me, and I felt just like I was nothing, And when I grew older, that gave me a sense of like, oh, okay, I need to control everybody around me and everything that happens into my life, because that's the only thing I have. But then I realized that when I started talking to God, and when I started seeing that whatever I ask him is happening, I started to trust him. So I let go of every desire I had. I asked once. I would ask once. I would say, this is what I want, and specific, If it was money that I wanted, like for example, I needed to pay a fine, I specifically asked, I need money for this fine. This is how much I need. Please help me. And I would always also practice gratitude before. I would say, thank you, God, for having a bed to sleep in. Thank you, God, for having food on the table. Thank you, God, for the smallest things. I would say thank you for before I went to bed. And then I would talk to him. I would say like, hey, this was my day. This is what happened.